All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. You know, this morning in the Discord, I said I was going to make 2 videos today. Lo and behold, I get thrown into this 1 o'clock and couldn't make anything till now. I also have a 2 o'clock, so I'm kind of going to rush today, but I promise I will make a better video tomorrow. I'm so sorry I can't make a detailed one right now, but I'll make it short and sweet for the minimum, all right? So, big day today. All right, big day today. And again, talked about on the Discord a lot, the first good earnings. I don't even need to use the word profitable. The first good earnings since 2022. Just look at this chart, right? That was the last earnings up. Rest of them have been down until today, right? So real big right there. Look, obviously next target 10. I had a comment to that, and I do at least want to highlight it real quick. Trust me, 10 is super aggressive. I like there's good earnings, there's rumors of potential, you know, this, that, and whatever, right? There's a lot of good going on, but right now we got to focus on the immediate targets. That is going to be the plan, but believe me, if we start to break these and these, we'll talk about this. You know, all I'm seeing is red to green, right? Like there's a lot to be excited about, but our goal is to keep emotions in check. Let's use these you know, colorful lines, these indicators to guide what's going to happen, all right? So clearly I'm going to talk about Tilray the most right now, but look, what happened today? I'm going to come to the S&P 500 real quick, and I'm going to flash the hourly. So this is the entire trading day from the beginning of the day. This is the 9th, and then we came down to the last, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are all 7 hours of the day. It's why whenever we do our little math, I'm generally dividing by 7. I don't know what those numbers were. I apologize, right? So the S&P 500 this morning, right? We close yesterday here. We then gap up and open all the way up here. Look at that nice little jump right there, right? We even get a little bit of a peak all the way up here. And then lo and behold, the rest of the day goes down on the S&P 500, all right? When we look at the Dow Jones, actually a lot worse. Okay, this doesn't do a big gap up, right? We close down here and then basically open right there. Yeah, it does go up a little bit, but by no means that same niceness of the S&P 500, right? This also does have a little bit of that run up wick right there, but Dow Jones just dropping, right? The entire day, all the hours, not too bad on the last one, right? You know, I generally don't look at NASDAQ when we're talking about this sector because we're talking about farming. We're talking about selling in stores, right? There's no e-commerce. There's no AI quantum driving the growth and all that, right? So Dow Jones and S&P 500, when they go down, it's generally a bloodbath in this sector, right? Other sectors may not do as bad, but hey, if you've been trading, you know, weed stocks for a while now, when the market is good, there's no guarantee the sector's going to do well, right? And on the last video, I kind of joked, hey, we're finally doing well when the market's not, right? But generally, when the market does well, there's no guarantee we're going to do well. But when the market's bad, the sector is horribly bloody, right? That's not what happens today, right? Tilray clearly pops. Yeah, you can say it went down, and clearly it did, right? But that holds significantly better than the down we saw the S&P 500 and NASDAQ do, right? And as we look at the rest, yes, for sure this was a much bigger drop, right? But CGC did absolutely nothing today. They didn't have earnings today. There's actually a lot of fear right now that they might do a reverse split coming off this meeting, right? And again, I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to react accordingly, right? But yo, this did not drop, right? Let's just look at it one more time. SPX. That's a worse drop, right? Obviously, again, a good little end, but even that's a harder drop than CGC, which again had absolutely no good news or any real reason to gap up, right? MSOS, I'm a little surprised didn't do as well during the day. This wasn't as loud a gap up, and really, I think by the time I woke up and saw things, I think I saw these 2 hours cancel out, and it was a lot closer to a 0 day than anything, but nice little recovery towards the end. But again, same exact comment, right? This one, like I said, I think does a little bit lower than the rest, and this one was maybe my one little outlier, but as I look at SNDL, again, this did not have earnings. This didn't have any real reason to gap up. This didn't drop as hard as the indices did. As you look at high tide, right? did do its best. Actually, a real hard run up after we got over that real important 360, 365 that I mentioned on the last video, right? But again, the market for sure caught up with the sector, and I'm not going to take that for granted, right? But I think what's really important right now is it would have been a significantly worse day if Tilray didn't do the job. I can honestly tell you, I'm surprised this is what the candle looks like. I sincerely believe we would have closed at least around 225, if not even maybe a stronger candle. I'm a little bit surprised it is this shape of a doji, but really, I think looking more long term right now, right? Today, oh, my wife is choking out there. I don't know what she's been doing over there, but hopefully that's not messing up the audio here. So let me actually get her some water. I'm sorry, one sec. Oh man, she feels bad she interrupted, and I feel worried that she was joking and I didn't really care at first. So we'll cancel those out. Everything's all good over here, right? So look, what I'm seeing, let's talk a little bit technicals, and again, I'll give you better thoughts tomorrow, and really we'll see how these all confirm. So it'll actually be better thoughts tomorrow, right? But this is an important doji right here. We've been talking about how difficult this line was, right? Each of the stock, I'm not going to go over, I'll say it again. Each stock has basically come to a difficult line. Big candle over it, unable to confirm. Nice candle right here. Doji don't count. Yo, that's a nice gap up, but it's another doji. We're battling. And you know me, if you watch my videos, I don't like putting lines this tight. Generally, I like to say break this one. This one's our money line. Let's go, right? We had a stack of two difficult lines, pennies away from each other. And let's see if we've now escaped from this, right? And hey, look at that. We actually almost hit our volume requirement. That's actually real solid. I just saw that right now. I like this MACD. I like the RSI. I actually love the 76. I'm glad we're not in an 83, 88, whatever, right? 76 still has room to go to 80. And hey, we've seen it not that long ago go into beyond 80 right here. It's hit almost 80, right? Like give us that little go into 80, right? These are still our next lines. We're looking for 270 next right now. And, you know, roughly speaking, we're kind of in the middle of this little area right now, right? So maybe we can use, and it's basically what we wick today. Look at that. Where I'm clicking is basically the top of that right there. It's basically the top of that right there. It's almost perfectly the bottom of that right there. Get me over 230. And I'm going to start thinking 270 and 231. Or sorry, 321. Wow, dyslexic right there. 230 is our money line. And we basically tested it today with that wick today, right? So that's what I'm looking for. Honestly, I'm extremely bullish even if this falls down to 168, because I've been saying this across my last couple of videos, and not just this one, a couple other sectors too. It's technical 101. When you turn a hard resistance into a support that you bounce and go, oh my gosh, that's technical 101. Turn an enemy into a friend, turn a resistance into a support, right? Maybe we can't continue the takeoff, and obviously we all want that, right? But even if we come as low as 170 one more time, don't go below the line. Use the line as a point to bounce and go. I can easily see that happening, all right? So really, I'm very bullish even if we come that low. What we're looking for is 230 breaking onward, all right? From there, look, CGC finally, let me say it one more time for anyone in the background right now. Finally, we're over the 200 moving average. Look, we're not here to get excited over a single candle, right? We're here for confirm and more. I'm not entirely sure what's about to happen with this reverse split meeting. I don't really know too many details. We've been talking about a lot in the Discord actually. CGC, let me see if I can find something. Yeah, it looks like there's an annual meeting. They're gonna be doing some stuff. There's a potential 1-15 reverse split. And again, remember, they're going to vote to do it, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do it tomorrow, even if they vote yes, right? But nonetheless, watch out for what happens with that. But what I'm looking at is over the 200. If this, excuse me, a little hiccup. If this confirms, we're talking 2 and then 280. I think our money line, man, it's basically it's where we're at right now. I mean, the 170 is the important line. It's a little high. I don't want to use 280. It's 180. There's nothing else I can use. Look, break 180. I'm clicking at 178. Maybe that's what you can use, but break 180. I'll start thinking 2 and then 280 from there. Really, if we fall back down to 150, I'll be okay. I just don't want to really go below 150 because even at that, like let's call it 152. Don't go below 152 on CGC, and I'm real happy. Literally, the exact same comment I just said, right? What was a difficult, very hard resistance that we've never been over in a good while. If I can go over it, come back, use it, and bounce, let's go. I'm loving the lower indicators, even healthier RSI right here, right? I'm going to skip MSOS for the second. I'm going to flash ACB real quick. I mean, this ain't bad right here, right? We're climbing. It tried to run. It obviously couldn't run, but hey, it looks like it's on the better side of this line right now, actually, right? So don't go below 6. Really, the next place I see this going is 743 if we continue, right? Let's look for a 690 confirmation right there. Let's come into SNDL. Looking at SNDL right now, we kissed our next line up, right? Again, this rode a very nice Tilray momentum. This one has been the best of the bunch for quite a while. It makes sense that it was actually able to hold most of the candle today, right? Again, I'm still loving all these lower indicators, right? Get me over 290 and we're going to start thinking 350. I'm very bullish. Honestly, I'm very bullish as low as 265. Don't go below 265, and I'm real happy with that, all right? High tide. I think we saw what happens if we can get over that first line was down here. First thing we wanted to do was get over that 365, 367. It quickly ran all the way up to the next 50% line, which is that 380, right? It just, like I said, with the market came down, right? Once again, we're still under the lines, right? The doji closed down here today at 59, right? And the 8 moving average is a penny over it at 360 in the box over there. So still a couple candles under the 8 and 20. You know I'm not a fan of that, right? But these are pretty insignificant candles, and let's see what the sector can do. And again, I'm going to say it one more time. If Tilray didn't do well and the S&P 500 and Dow Jones look like they did, it would have been a bloodbath across all of these, right? The one that kind of mimicked the markets the most was MSOS. I feel like this one fell the most. I do like that strong recovery at the end. I think that makes me feel just a little bit better, but MSOS was a little bit of an outlier, and I think that does bother me just a bit. Nonetheless, as I'm looking at the daily, we're still over the death line, the difficult line, right? And that still has a sector unison with Tilray, which is over it, and neither of them have confirmed just enough yet, right? So look, I said a lot of words. I talked really fast. I got to post this thing before my meeting in 15 minutes. I will give you better thoughts tomorrow. I promise. I sincerely apologize. I just got caught up in meetings and you know I want to talk more about this. All right. So thank you so much. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, yeah. Thank you one last time.